We are living interesting times in terms of access to information, which is our fuel to take the right decision or even to stay sane. Sometimes it looks like a human versus human game when we are talking about manipulation. So let's see how journalism and media can help or can be against our progress, together with Vitalie Cojocari, an Euronews journalist. By the time we are releasing this episode, should be a Thursday afternoon. Usually, we get ready for the rest of the week by preparing something new to learn. And for this episode, we have a topic that might be unexpected for the tech community, but definitely something really useful to learn from. So, Vitalie, thank you for taking time for this.
Thank you.
We're going to start with an easy question, so we let our viewers understand, who are you?
Yeah, it's hard to answer to the question because usually I'm the one who is asking the questions. My name is Vitalie Cojocari. I'm a Romanian journalist. I have 20 years of experience in journalism here in Romania, but I have some roots. I was born in the Republic of Moldova. So my first year in journalism were in Chisinau. And now I'm here in Bucharest for 15 years at Pro TV. It's a TV company in Romania, a commercial one. And now I'm at Euronews Romania. Of course, Euronews knows everybody what it is. It's a TV company in Europe. We have news, we provide news, we make news. And I'm a journalist there. My show it's called Voices That Matters. It's in the evening at Euronews Romania on daily basis for 2 hours. So I'm hosting this show about topics, actual topics in Romania. This is what I'm doing on a daily basis.
I have to be honest, I'm quite anxious and I have a lot of emotions, positive, negative ones. I'm not sure yet. Being in front of a journalist, right? You mentioned that you usually are the one to asking questions. I hope I'll ask the good questions for you. Yeah. Sometimes or most of the time, I hear about tech guys coming from other domain of expertise and shifting towards technology. But I also heard about guys starting in tech and then move to other professions like actors or even journalists. So maybe we're going to inspire someone today. So tell us if there are any experience that you might remember from your childhood or from your teenage years that inspired you, that drove you to this career.
To this career, to the journalist. First of all, you are doing a great job asking
Thank
questions. My idea of being a journalist was a childhood dream. I was dreaming about this topic and this career since I know. I just want to be a journalist because I like the idea to have a communication with other people. I'm very interesting and curious by myself. Also, I'm very ambitious. I'd like to be in front of camera. So here with you now, I'm feeling very good. Yeah. I like to be here and doing this. Of course, I'm also a little nervous because I should answer to the question, not asking them. So yes, I want to be a journalist because I was curious, because also I want to travel a lot, also because I like the idea to know things about other people. And we are here in a tech conference and everybody is asking himself about if AI could steal his job. So I'm positive sure that AI will never could steal my job because because AI will not be in this position to have emotions like me,
Yeah.
and will not have the opportunity to make mistakes, because it is in my duty to make mistakes like a journalist sometimes, and to be disruptive, and people could be disruptive more than an AI. This is my life dream, to be a journalist. I'm very happy to accomplish it.
This is always useful to do something that you love and to be involved into a life dream, right? You
Yeah.
do look comfortable in front of camera. How does the world look like behind a TV camera or behind an online publication? Does it look better, or does it look just as scary as some of us might see it on the other side of the camera?
Good question. I will be sincere to you. It look more than cynically.
Okay.
It is a thing that you learn in journalism, that it's a shield to you. What's happening? When you're exposed to a lot of drama, a lot of things bad happens, because journalism, you cannot avoid that topics. You, like a viewer, you can avoid it.
Yeah.
You have remote control. You shift from the Euronews to other thing because you dislike some topic. But you, like a journalist, you should follow what is wrong in society, and to put it on the table, put it on the screen, that people could understand what is wrong, what could be the solution. So you're exposed to a lot of bad things. And to be a shield, you cannot be so much involved. Of course, you have some empathy. You put some empathy to understand. You are putting yourself in other shoes, but the empathy should have some boundaries. This is why people feel it, but I suppose they don't know about this. But journalists are a little bit cynical, because otherwise you get mad. You had a lot of bad emotions, and if you are not trying to avoid them, you need a shrink every day. We seen a lot of footages that you'll never be able to see. You are in some bad situation. I saw people bad injuries. I have been in a war. I see and I feel what is to be refugees from Ukraine. So it's very hard for a journalist to do so. So you need to take a distance from those things and to be professional. And this is what journalists look like behind. You try to be as neutral you could, not to be affected by these emotions.
Ideally, yeah, this is what should happen. I understand. It sounds like a tough job. You really need the nerves for it. But you mentioned that we that are on the other side of the camera, we have the possibility to switch, to stop, to move to another channel, or to stop reading the publication. However, a lot of times it happens that we stick there. Sometimes it gives us negative emotions. We start bullying online, or we start bullying those who are preparing those journalistic materials. Sometimes we say, okay, this is made so it keeps me in front of the camera. Is there a trick that we could use in order to actually do this easy step that we can do? Just move to another channel, or...
Look, this is a question I cannot answer to it. It is a thing that I have not figured out how to solve it. It's about these negative feelings that public get from news. Because you cannot avoid what is happening. You cannot avoid tough things that is happening in society. A journalist should be like a wolf in a forest. and wolf in a forest is like a sanitarian
Yes,
things for
exactly.
the forest. What is he doing? It is going to see what is going wrong in the society, put it on the table, and finding some solutions. This is how it should works. But when you are bringing some bad stuff, bad things, people start to think and to feel nervous, like you said. And this is what they're doing. They just wanna don't wanna see things, and they are put it in a I don't know a crystal globe. When they are one just avoid everything, they want to sit in a bubble. No, we are in a bubble. But the thing is, if you are doing so, you will not be prepared about what's happening in the world.
Indeed.
Yes, and it should be a very smooth equilibrium between what is happening bad and how the solve you could put on the table like a journalist.
I would say the biggest problem is that we are becoming more and more afraid of the fake news and the negative impact that might have. Is this real, or we are becoming too much paranoid about it?
No, no, it's real. It's real. Even we journalists should ask ourselves if, and we are doing this, if that information is good, if for real or not. I will tell you so. Myself, I was a victim of fake news. They took my images,
Yeah.
my footages in front of the camera. They put some words in my mouth, and it looked like real. Of course, AI has some limits, but they're doing, and they advertised something. I cannot understand what. It was a fraud, how I understand. I asked for help to the Facebook. I asked for help to the authorities, for the police, but still, this fake, deep fake was there. So my question is, if me as a journalist that appear in front of people is the victim of this kind of fraud, I cannot shut it down, this kind of fraud. What to think about people that are not in this position? What they could do? And also, I have no answer to that, but I'm sure it's a big problem. And this, but a partial solve of this problem is this. In journalism, we are working with credibility.
Yeah.
It is the biggest value of journalists, credibility. If you have credibility, you can come in front of camera like this and you say, people, look what I find out. This is the information. I spoke to those.
And people that follow you know
Follow
that
you,
what
you
was
are-
before it's
and
actually
you
a
are
fake.
credible.
And
Yeah. And now, because we are in a deep fake or fake news, and we see, and this is a pressure, even you notice it, not being in journalist domain. And I would say that somehow, technically, we should invest journalists with credibility. Journalists and accounts in the Facebook, TikTok, and everything that is on social media. And if this account will have credibility somehow, we will solve this problem. I suppose it could be a tech issue, tech solving problem. Look, once again, I was a victim of a fraud.
Yeah.
People try to use my credibility to make some frauds, but I cannot shut it down because from point of view of Facebook or social media,
Yeah,
it was okay.
And I suppose, based on what you said, that you think this new LLM AI tools are making the things worse than before, right? I mean, there's, or not necessarily.
And it could be worse because we didn't deal with it before. So now we should figure out what to do.
Yeah. You mentioned, we've discussed about TV before, and then you mentioned social media. Somehow, IT guys are more into social media than TV. Well, would you choose one or the other? What would be the tool that we or should we choose one or the other if we want to get relevant, useful information? Or
It's okay to choose social media. Why not? But journalists are there. I'm there. I mean, people used to follow me because they are knowing that I am journalist. Facebook give me this blue badge that show to the people that I am a real person and I'm a journalist. So why not? I will tell you this. The field where journalists are working is technical field is moving on. So first of all, journalists were some cavemen that wrote on the cave that's how hunting is look like. After that, we started to wrote down on some tables. After that, it appeared paper. After that, Gutenberg makes this book, and after that, radio, papers, and now we have social media. It's absolutely okay to be there. And me, as a journalist, I try to be on TikTok, on Facebook, everywhere, because it's important to people to get information. It does important the field, the domain where you are working on. I have this story, and it's absolutely interesting and moving. It was in Japan, where it was an earthquake, and it was a big tsunami in Fukushima, I suppose, and it shut it down the energy
plant,
for
the energy plant. Yes.
for some month or so. So what journalists could do? They take some papers. They wrote their articles and put it in some wall. So it was showing that journalists could be done even in these conditions. So why not social media? It's very good, it's very okay, but we should understand whom we could follow, because there is no rules as in television.
Yeah, this was my thought. The television doesn't have that much of a noise and lack of rules that it's in social media.
We had a lot of rules in television, a lot. I try to bring them also on social media, but there are people that are not doing that. So we should be very careful whom we are following.
I want to shift now the discussion to a topic that I'm really interested about. In the IT world, I see somehow a discrepancy between what the companies are communicating and what the actual things look like within the organization, right? Some might say it's fantasy, some may say it's marketing strategies, some even use fake strategies, but there's definitely a discrepancy. You always want to put your story in nicer terms that it looks. Where should we draw a line to find a balance between objective communication and
This why you need journalists, because this is a PR and public relation, and it's good to be those. But journalists have this bad habit to put uncomfortable questions.
Okay.
And a journalist always should look to the interest of the public. Even public isn't interested in, but journalists should feel the interest of public. There are journalists in Romania.
So this would mean if you leave aside some parts of the story to protect the public, it's okay. I mean, not changing it, but you just leave aside some details that might just produce chaos and negative impact to the public. To leave them aside. I mean, you don't put it in the story. You write the story only with the positive notes that are actually useful for your public.
No, no, no. This is what I'm not telling. I mean it. Even there are bad things. Of course, you have a big responsibility, like a journalist, a big one. You feel it on your shoulders. But even public are disagree with you. Even look, let's say you know a good person, a star. Everybody loves him, her, and you find out something bad about this man.
Yeah.
What to do? To publish it or not?
Yeah.
Because it is maybe this person harms some people or are doing he's doing bad things, and now you like a journalist, you should follow the rules. Rules are telling that you should publish it, and you should find out the opinion of this movie star, let's say, and you should ask for authorities about what is happening, and you should left your beliefs aside, not details. Even they are bad.
Yeah, correct.
Your beliefs are not good. You should be, of course, it's very hard to live your beliefs and your emotions, but these are the rules in journalists. You should look for the public interest, even if even public will in the first place will hate you because you are doing so, but you are a wolf in the forest.
Yeah.
And this is your job.
I would say this really is a useful advice, and I can see it useful for the organization within my field of interest, and also for the individuals. Don't be afraid to put on the table also the negative aspects, what went wrong. It's always normal to have things go wrong. Just put them on the table and see how the discussion goes from there. What's the feedback, what's the reaction, and so on.
Yeah, agree.
Okay, I have one last topic that I want to discuss about. We are in an election year in Romania, 4 rounds. Election year actually all over the world, right?
Yeah.
EU, USA, and
Even Russia.
Russia, of course, yes, exactly.
But I'm sorry, even Russia, kind of elections.
Kind of, yeah. We need to be involved into this, and unfortunately, guys in IT, they start thinking about it when it's too late. So we should be prepared for this. We should get the useful information so we take the right decisions, because in the end, what happens there, want it or not, it will affect our personal life, our professional life, right? Recently, IT guys were complaining about some new taxes and so on, and now seems would have been better to choose differently 4 years ago. So what would be the recommendations here? Where to get the useful information? How to take the right decisions?
Do you remember in our discussion we spoke about credibility of journalists? So you should look for some credibility. You should look for some journalists that you trust, not just one. You should pick them. Also some journalist institution, and try to understand why you are trusting them. Not just because they are sharing your values, because you will stuck in a bubble. You will not understand the things. You just be disruptive and look for people who are doing its job, like journalists, a good job, but to be trustfully. This is very important. If there is a credibility in a journalist, you should follow them. Of course, you could say, I will take my time, I will do my research, but you cannot do that because you have your work, you have stuff to do in your family, and so on. So you should invest journalists with trust and let them do their business. And if you do so, you will see journalists will also inform you. I always said, if you are saying all journalists are bad, this is false information. That's not true. Because even in Romania, it's just one journalist who is doing its job good, and it could be it's credible. It's good, and it's not nothing. Let's say. Wrong at all. So we are not in
some bad intentions.
in apocalypse.
Because
I see this many times. Everybody is bad, so I cannot follow nobody.
Again, it's the fright of manipulation, and in this new AI invaded world, it's even bigger. And people say these elections will be, let's say. The main thing about this election is that a lot of manipulation will happen with the help of AI tools and LLM tools.
This is another tools of manipulation. Manipulation exists for many years, from the prehistorical years. The thing is, manipulation is shifting the speed, how they are doing. So this is why you should seek for journalists that are credible and try to follow them. This is the solution right now.
Do you see any way the tech community could help? For example, I've been following the Code for Romania organization that have been built software for elections, even software for Ukrainian.
So you know Bogdan Ivanel?
I'm listening to interviews. I don't know him personally, but I have friends that are volunteers. I've been watching their activity during recent elections, and I see they have been expanded also within the.
It's funny you mentioned this, because yesterday I have an interview with Bogdan Ivanel from Code for Romania, and it was a great interview. A lot of people was watching. It was great things because they are credible. They try to do things, and now, like a journalist, I try to understand what's happening in the election, because it's a thing people are afraid of being manipulated this election. So I asked to Bogdan Ivanel to come to the studio at Euronews. We had this interview, big interview with him, and we tried to put it on the table. Look, these are bad things that's happening, and these are the solutions. So this is how journalists should work, you know? And this is a good collaboration, a very good example of how things should be done in journalism. Of course, you should invest some time and some brain in watching this serious topic. It's easily to go to some very easy topic. I don't know how to say, maybe in the showbiz or something else, to watch what they're doing. It's very easy and entertaining, but these are not entertaining. This is more important for your life.
Useful for way many years. So definitely this is a good advice for our tech viewers. You can get involved by becoming a volunteer for Code for Romania. Even people from outside Romania, the organization expanded globally. So,
and involved in, followed and look for serious topic. And serious journalists and credible journalists.
Wonderful. Thank you for the discussion. Do you have any final thoughts that you want to share with the viewers, or maybe there was something that I didn't ask and you want to...
I'm very happy you've asked the last question about the involving Code for Romania, because it's a good example of how things should be done. And my advice for everybody is not to think everybody in this world, journalists, ITists, because, you know, we have these stereotypes. We are thinking like all ITs are, I don't know, sitting on their computers and could be some hackers stealing something. I don't know. This is a stereotype.
Journalists
want to manipulate you, and they are not interested in information. And everybody is bad. This kind of thinking, it is bad.
Yeah, and makes a world a worse
Exactly.
place than before. Yeah.
Exactly. Try to give some credit to journalists, to ITs, to other parts that not involved you, because in this way, world will evolve. I could be more optimistic than others. This is my pity. This is maybe my mistake. But I believe in that people could evolve, world could evolve if we invest some credit in others.
Perfect. We're gonna close with this wonderful message. So thank you everyone for watching. If you found our content useful, share it with somebody in your organization, your school, your group of friends. And don't forget to give us feedback on the platforms you are watching. Stay curious. See you on the other side.